Hi everyone, welcome to AA Running. In today's video, I'm going to be walking you through my 4th week of training for the sub-18 5K. I'm also going to talk a little bit about the Norwegian system of threshold training, how I'm going to apply it to my training, and how you can apply it to yours. So stay tuned. That section on the Norwegian system of threshold training is going to be towards the end of the video. Hope you enjoy it. It's Monday, July 4th, and today is the first day of my 4th week of training for a sub-18 5K. My run this morning was a 6-mile easy recovery run. I'll put the stats on the screen for you. 8:48 pace, average heart rate 140. So just taking it nice and easy and just trying to relax. Now this week is going to be what I call a down week. So the point of this week of training is just to take a break from increasing my mileage, increasing the intensity. Just take it easy and keep everything controlled so that my body can absorb the last 3 weeks of training, and so I can freshen my legs up a little bit before continuing to increase my mileage. So the last 3 weeks I went 33, 38, and then 44 miles. I plan to keep increasing up towards 55 miles, but this week I'm going to take a step back, run 40 miles, and then the next week I'll continue to increase. And so it's a good idea when you're building up your mileage to take these sort of breaks once every 3 or 4 weeks to let your body absorb the training. And this will really help to keep you healthy and keep you fresh so that you can continue to improve. Alright, that's it for now. Talk to you later. Hi everyone, it's Tuesday. This morning's run was a 7-mile run at 8:11 pace. I'll put the stats on the screen. I did a 2-mile warm-up, then I did 3 times 1 mile with a half-mile jog recovery, so these were easy intervals. A little bit slower than marathon pace effort, so pretty steady effort, moderate effort. My splits were 7:03, 7:01, and 7:03, and I'm really pleased with this workout. My average heart rate during the intervals was 162, and 2 weeks ago when I did this exact same workout, my average heart rate was 166. So that shows that I am getting a little bit fitter, even though I am still feeling like I'm struggling, day to day lately. But what I'm starting to realize is maybe I'm not actually struggling with the training, and maybe I'm just struggling with the heat in the summer weather conditions. It's an encouraging day. We'll see how I get on the rest of the week. After the run, I did a couple 100-meter strides, so about 20 seconds, and just to get a little bit more turnover. I haven't been doing strides or any sort of faster running really for the last few weeks because I hurt my hamstring about 6 weeks ago, and now it's been feeling good enough for a long enough time that I'm feeling comfortable doing strides again. So that's good news as well. Hi everyone, it's Wednesday. Just finished my run. So I went to the track today, warmed up 2 miles, and then I did a workout, a little mini workout designed to improve my running economy. So I did a lot of relaxed intervals at around 5K or 3K pace. So what I did was I did 3 by 400, which was around 10K pace effort. Averaged about 90. I'll put the splits on the screen for you. I took a 400-meter jog recovery in between those, so kind of, full recovery, just so that I don't, build up a lot of lactate, I don't have a lot of muscle damage, I just keep it relaxed and keep it aerobic. And then after the 400s, I did 5 by 200, a little bit faster, averaged about 40 seconds for those 200s, which is around 3K pace effort. Yeah, and then I took a 200-meter jog recovery in between those. So again, full recovery. I let my heart rate come down in between. Pretty good run. I'll put the stats for the run on the screen for you now. All right, talk to you later. Hi everyone, it's Thursday, and this morning Amanda and I went to the track and we each did a track workout. So Amanda did 8x200, around 5K pace, or 3K effort on the day. I did 4x1K at about marathon pace, so easy intervals, 4x1K, working on my threshold. Took an 800-meter jog recovery in between, and my 1Ks were all in 4:11, except the last one was in 4:10. So super consistent, really controlled effort, and a good threshold stimulus. Talk to you later.
Hey, so now I'm gonna make a nice healthy breakfast. I'm making breakfast quinoa with apples and pecans and toasted pecans and some cinnamon and coconut oil. So this is a really great alternative to oatmeal. I personally feel kind of bloated and nauseous after eating oatmeal, and this has about the same amount of protein, and it's just like a really great way to mix things up for breakfast if you're used to eating oatmeal all the time, or you want something nice and healthy to fill you up. So once that quinoa gets boiling, I put on a timer for 15 minutes and cover it and let it simmer. All right, well that's cooking. I'm gonna get the spro going. And I use mostly decaf espresso mixed with a little bit of caffeinated espresso because I'm lame like that. All right, it's time to get these bad boys nice and toasty for 5 minutes. I'm gonna toast these pecans for 5 minutes on medium heat before I add a little bit of olive oil and cinnamon. Microwaved milk. So I'm adding a teaspoon of coconut oil. And then sprinkling on some cinnamon until it smells fragrant. So it just takes about 30 seconds to a minute, and then you really start to smell that cinnamon. You know it's ready. All right, now that the quinoa is done, I like to add about a teaspoon to a tablespoon of maple syrup just to give it some added sweetness. I'm gonna mix that up.
Hi, it's Sunday now. I just want to give you an update on how the last couple days of this week went for me. Friday was a day off from training, just a 1 mile jog to keep my running streak alive. I have a running streak that's now over 2 years old. And then yesterday, Saturday, I did a 7 mile run. I'll put the data on the screen for you here. I warmed up for 2 miles, and then I did 4 times 1 kilometer at about marathon pace effort. So another kind of easy threshold workout with 800-meter jog recovery in between. And yeah, that felt pretty good. I do think I've been overcooking things and training a little bit. I feel like I'm struggling a little bit of recovery. So today's run was a really nice and easy recovery run. I'll put the data for that run on the screen now. Super relaxed, basically trying to get out there with as little effort as possible. So to summarize this week, this was supposed to be a down week, and I did run a couple less miles, but I do feel like I was struggling still with just pushing everything a little bit too hard each day. And I think that's kind of a trap you fall into sometimes with the easy interval method. And so I had four sessions this week, and yeah, I just don't think I had quite enough recovery in this week. But here's the stats for the week. 40-mile week. My average pace for the week has started to increase, get faster. So that's really good. But I'm gonna have to change some things if I want to increase my training mileage, my volume, and if I want to do it in a sustainable way. Let's talk about the Norwegian system of threshold training for endurance athletes. Now, in recent years, this training method has gotten a lot of attention. You might have heard it referred to as the double threshold training system, and it's the training methodology that the Ingebrigtsen brothers follow. You know, Jakob Ingebrigtsen, the 59-meter Olympic gold medalist, has definitely had a lot of success from training this way. Also, some of the Norwegian triathletes have really been doing really well recently. Christian Blumenfeld, Gustav Iden, and you really in the triathlon world, it's all about threshold training now. It seems. But what exactly is this Norwegian method of threshold training, and can someone like me who's trying to run a sub-18 5K and who's only going to be running 40, 50, maybe even 60 miles a week at the most, which is a lot less than what these professional athletes are doing, can someone like me, a normal runner, really benefit from this system? And does that mean that I have to do double threshold sessions? And so most of the information that I've learned about this method and what I'm going to share with you today, I've gotten from this excellent blog article by Marius Bakken. I'll put a link to that article on the screen now. Highly suggest you take a read at it. He goes into full detail of this method. And basically the method is based on two main principles. The first principle is that if you want to improve performance as an endurance athlete, basically as a runner, that means anything 1,500 meters or longer, then the single most important thing you need to do is improve your anaerobic and aerobic thresholds, so your LT2 and your LT1. And so the basic concept then becomes, how can I maximize the total amount of threshold training I'm doing each week? And so, of course, in the last few weeks of a training cycle, when you're preparing for a race, you're going to do some more work at race pace. More work at 5K pace, at 1,500 meter pace. But under this model, for the majority of your year, you should be focused pretty much exclusively on threshold training. So that's principle number one. And so basically, when you're planning your training schedule, you should figure out a training schedule that allows you to maximize the total amount of threshold running you're doing each week, within reason. For an athlete like Jakob Ingebrigtsen, who's doing 100 miles a week, he can easily handle 2 hours of threshold running per week. And so that ends up being four 30-minute sessions. And so that brings me to principle number two, which is, when you plan your week, you want to block the threshold training. And so what do I mean by block? What I mean by block is, if you've got 4 sessions or 5 sessions, let's say you have 5 sessions that you want to do each week, You could do threshold Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then easy on Saturday, Sunday. But that would not be as effective as blocking those threshold sessions, doing 2 sessions on Tuesday, 2 sessions on Thursday, 1 session on Saturday. So you have more recovery days, and so you want to block your threshold training. And so the typical Ingebrigtsen schedule, because he's doing 100 miles a week and he's doing 4 threshold training sessions each week, he does double threshold on Tuesday, double threshold on Thursday, right? And then Saturday's usually a speed development day of some sort, hill repeats, track work, or something like that. Okay, so that's the basic concept of the training model. Now, how does that apply to somebody like me? If you're running 50 miles a week, should you be doing double threshold sessions, or is that really just for someone doing 100 miles a week? And it really comes down to what you can, how much mileage you can handle and how much quality you can handle. So I would really recommend that. Another thing about this article from Marius Bakken is he points out that as you become a more advanced athlete, the percentage of your week that is threshold or high quality should go up, because you no longer benefit quite as much from the easy miles. So if you've heard of this 80-20 rule, where it says 80% of your run-in should be easy conversational pace run-in, 20% should be moderate or high intensity. That might be true as like an average, but a beginner runner might want to be more like 90-10 or 85-15 in favor of low intensity. Whereas a more advanced runner like Jakob might be more 75-25 or 70-30 or something like that. And so 80-20 is just kind of like an average. Now, that being said, in the Norwegian model, they do expect you to be doing high volume. And so you do want to push the total amount of mileage as high as you can reasonably handle. And Marius Bakken points out that, for elite distance runners, the sweet spot is probably somewhere between 70 and 120 miles a week. Now, at that level, you can handle 2 hours of threshold each week, which becomes 4 sessions, and that's what makes doing double threshold like almost necessary at that point, right? Because it ends up being the most effective way to do 4 sessions per week. But if you're only doing 50 miles a week, and let's say if you're only doing 50 miles a week like I am, I'm probably only going to do about 10 miles of threshold each week. That's basically what I'm planning. And so that the most effective way to do 10 miles of threshold is you want to break that into so that's about an hour roughly, maybe a little bit longer. But you want to break that into only 2 sessions then, because an optimal session length is more like 30 to 40 minutes. And so I'll be doing 2 sessions. Now, if you're doing 2 sessions, there's no point in doing a double threshold. So someone like me who's doing about 10 miles of quality, I'm going to do 5 miles of threshold on Tuesday in 1 session, and 5 miles of threshold on Thursday in 1 session. And that is really sticking to the same spirit as the Ingebrigtsen schedule, right? And then as I progress as an athlete, as my mileage goes up, I can start to handle maybe a 3rd session, and that 3rd session would end up being maybe Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, single threshold training. And so the oldest Ingebrigtsen brother, Christopher Ingebrigtsen, he does something like this, where he's more of a recreational runner, but still very fast, around 33 minutes for 10K. He will do just 3 thresholds, 1 on Tuesday, 1 on Thursday, and 1 on Saturday. And then at some point, I think probably when you start crossing into that 70 or 80 miles a week mileage, you then become able to handle 4 sessions. And then that's when the double threshold schedule really becomes optimal, right? Because you're going to do 4 sessions, and the principle of lock-in means that it's more effective to do 2 sessions on Tuesday, 2 sessions on Thursday, than it would be to do 4 sessions Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, kind of what I've been doing with the easy interval method in a way. And so that's mainly why I'm interested in trying out this Norwegian model, And so in the next coming weeks, I'm going to move to a very simple training schedule where I'll do very easy run on Monday. I'll do a single threshold session totaling about 4 to 5 miles of work on Tuesday. Wednesday will be my off day where I'll just do a 1 mile recovery jog. Thursday I'll do the same amount of threshold as Tuesday, so another single threshold session, maybe 2K repeats, and whereas Tuesday will be just 1K repeats, or it could switch week to week. It doesn't really matter the exact details of that session. But yeah, it'll be threshold Tuesday, threshold Thursday, super easy recovery run Friday, and then a light speed development day on Saturday. And so I'm thinking of something like 10 by 100 meter strides to start out with, and then as I get closer to my goal target 5K races, that session will probably get a little bit tougher. Maybe I'll do 200s at 5K pace, maybe even a few 400s as well. Yeah, and then Sunday would be a really light, easy intensity lawn run. And so in the Norwegian model, they do a lawn run on Sunday, but it's not super long, right? So Jakob even only does about an 80-minute lawn run. So I'll keep that lawn run in that 80 to 90-minute range each week. All right, I hope you've learned something about the Norwegian model of threshold training. If you're really interested, I really do recommend checking out the Marius Bakken article. There's also a great podcast with Simon Hollyhagen. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing his name, but it's the Conversations About Running podcast, and it's the most recent episodes. And he's a Norwegian runner, about 13:36 in the 5K, and he really details this Norwegian system of training. And so yeah, check out those two places for more information. If you like this video, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. That's it for now. Run energized.